In this video, I'm gonna teach you about Posterize Time, slow shutter, and step printing. I've noticed a lot of misconceptions about these three techniques, and I want to teach them properly and analyze different shots on how to achieve them. Most people will associate this style with either Christopher Doyle or Wong Kar Wai. However, for me, the cinematographer and director who truly mastered this technique is actually Lau Wai Kang, also known as Andrew Lau, who is also the DOP of As Tears Goes By, which was the first movie Wong Kar Wai ever directed, but also worked as a cinematographer on Days of Being Wild, Chungking Express, and Ashes of Time. 2 years prior to working with Wong Kar Wai, Andrew Lau did the cinematography of Where is Officer Tuba, which included step printing for slow motion action shots that were filmed for normal speed. And the normal speed version is quite less dramatic compared to the step printed version. They made the shot 3 times slower by duplicating each frame to 3 frames. In 1986, they either manually did this step by step, or they used an interval device that held the master frames for several frames while printing. Nowadays, in editing software, all you have to do is to slow down your footage to 33% to achieve this effect. 1 year after Andrew Lau did the cinematography of City on Fire, for the end of the movie they used a step printing technique to slow down a slow motion shot of Chow Yun-fat dancing. Also here they used 3 frames for every frame. Then in 1988 we get As Tears Goes By, where Andrew evolved step printing to the next level with slow shutter. The first slow shutter shot is of Awa leaving his home. This differs from normal step printing as this is not a slow motion shot, as he is going out the door at a normal pace. Counting the frames, we also get 3 of the same frames again. Replicating this shot, my guess is they undercranked the camera to 8 frames per second with a 180 degree shutter, as I also tried a 360 degree shutter, which is a lot more blur than 180 degrees, which looks much more similar. Then they used a step printing technique to make the 8 frames per second into 24 frames per second by duplicating every single frame to 3 frames. By combining undercranking the camera plus step printing technique, you actually get the slow shutter effect. To undercrank your camera, it is dependable on which camera you're using. With an Arri Alexa Mini, it is possible to undercrank your camera to 8 frames per second. However, my Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro can only go as low as 12 frames per second. While with Sony mirrorless cameras, you can use the S&Q mode to get 8 frames per second, however you won't record any audio. While my C-Cam can use variable frame rate to go to 8 frames per second and also record audio. And the post-production is really dependable on the camera and the editing software, as some will directly have it as the correct frame rate on your timeline, while certain ones you still have to slow it down. But because modern editing, slowing it down actually just is a few clicks away, it doesn't involve any real step printing, so for the effect of slow shutter it should not be called step printing. It will take several years until we see slow shutter again, but in the meantime he works on projects where they experiment with step printing but also undercranking the camera for certain effects. In 1992, Andrew Lau works on The Wicked City, which has a lot of practical effects but also makes use of step printing and slow shutter. Another cinematographer we need to talk about is Mark Lee Ping Bing, who has worked on Fallen Angels and A Mood for Love. In 1992, Mark Lee worked on The Twilight of the Forbidden City, where they used a 4-frame step printing for a very painful scene. In 1993, Mark Lee works on The Legend 2, where he also makes use of slow shutter. Analyzing the shot, it's slightly slowed down. However, if I count the frames, I can find 5 frames that are the same. Speeding up the footage by 200%, it's noticeable the movements become more natural. My guess is they still use 8 frames per second with a 180 degree shutter, however they use a 5-frame step printing method. Something else that is quite interesting with this movie is that they use step printing for emotional moments, which actually emphasizes the emotion much more than at normal speed. In 1993, Andrew worked on Future Cops, where he was able to utilize the undercranking effect to make the fight scenes look much more impressive than what they really are. In 1994, we see the return of slow shutter in Chungking Express, as Andrew Lau did the cinematography on the first half of the movie, while the latter half Christopher Doyle did the cinematography but utilizes undercranking only for time-lapses and not for slow shutter. The biggest change that I can notice for slow shutter is that for certain shots 6 frames per second was used, as I can count there were 4 of the same frames. After Ashes of Time, Andrew Lau stopped working with Wong Kar Wai and concentrated mostly on his own projects, where he could work as both the director and cinematographer, having more creative freedom with the cinematography. In 1995 we have Fallen Angels, which of course have slow shutter shots, but the most interesting shot is at the very end, as this is not your average step printing, as it multiplies the first frame by 4 but removes the second frame and multiplies the next. I call this the skip frame step print. To achieve this effect in Premiere Pro, you have to use the Posterize Time effect and change it to 12 frames per second, which will duplicate the first frame and remove the second. Then nest the clip before you slow it down 50% to achieve this effect. However, I don't give the credit for this achievement to the cinematographers, as this is mostly done in post-production, and should give the credits to the editors William Chung-Ping and Wong Ming Lam. In 1996, Andrew Lau works on a movie adaptation of a comic called Young and Dangerous. And of course, Andrew makes use of slow shutter for a lot of the action and fighting scenes, but I want to talk about the sequel that's made in the same year, as they made use of a 2-frame step print that emphasizes the emotion in this shot. In 1997, we have Wong Kar Wai's Happy Together. In this movie, there is use of an effect called skip frame or Posterize Time. This effect duplicates all the uneven frames and removes the even frames. The result of this effect, it adds a choppy look without affecting the speed of the movement. You can see it as if it's simulating a 12 frames per second movie. In a later shot, they use this effect again, but with a much higher shutter speed, giving it a much more choppier look. However, I do feel like both implementation isn't that strong, as it doesn't feel like it adds anything or even an added emotion to the scene itself by using this effect. You can achieve this effect inside of Premiere Pro by using the Posterize Time effect and changing the frame rate to 12 frames. The last movie I want to talk about is Infernal Affairs from 2002, also by Andrew Lau. This movie includes a very interesting effect where they uses a 2-frame step print but with a high shutter speed. It adds quite an interesting emotion to the shot itself, more than the shot without it. I hope you like this video and share it with others who also want to learn about this technique. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!